Good morning, everybody. A very warm welcome to day 3 here at BVE 2014. Remember, you can keep up to date with everything that's going on by following us on Twitter at BroadcastShow. Use the hashtag BVE14. For the next half hour or so, we're going to be talking to people who are doing seminars here. So it's a little preview of the seminars going on at the show today. And of course, it's the last opportunity for you to send John to anywhere in the show. If there's anything particular that you want to see, anything you think we've missed, something that you want to hear about, then drop us an email live at broadcastshow.com and we'll send them out onto the show floor. But first of all, shall we crack on with the guest? I think we shall. Let's welcome Adam Suschitzky to the stand. Welcome, Adam. How are you, sir?
Yeah, great. Good to be here. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the seminar that you're doing today, then.
So 12 o'clock today, I'm going to be talking about suspense in cinematography, how to capture it, how to create it, and I'm going to be talking through the steps that I do to perfect that kind of art of cinematography. You know, I'm doing my own thing, mostly top-end TV drama is what I do. I love doing variety in my work, so sci-fi genre one year, period the next, contemporary the next. For me, it's about continually reinventing storytelling. It's kind of going back to storytelling, because it's the holy grail.
Yes.
So today it's great to be here in XL because, you know, you're surrounded by all this gear. You know, it's amazing technology today. The choice of how we're going to tell a story is infinite.
So you're here for, obviously you're here to do the seminar, but you're going to have a chance to little look around. Is this kind of, you know, kiddie in a sweet shop and having a little look at what's out there?
Yeah, totally. I mean, you know, who isn't nuts about camera gear and lenses and lighting? But for me, it's tools for the job. You know, it's interesting, you said to me before we started, what do you like to shoot with?
Yeah, because
you know, there's so much choice, but you know, you can pick up an iPhone, or you could go to an Alexa, or you could take a 35mm camera. In the end, it's about what's right for that script.
So, speaking as a cinematographer, and the right tools for the job as well, but there's a lot of chat as well, and I know there was a seminar on yesterday about being adaptive, and so using an Alexa, using a Canon, using a Sony. Is that something that you find you have to keep educating yourself on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the cinematographer's role is very much the guardian of the image, the translator of the word to the screen. So I have to have in my palette of paintbrushes and colors anything that I think might be right for that story beat, or that flashback. So it's great to familiarize yourself as much as possible and as regularly as possible with new gear, what's coming up, what's out there, but always bearing in mind that it's not the latest gadget that's going to be necessarily your best friend. It might actually be a lens from the 1970s. I just shot a pilot in South Africa for American TV, and we used the lenses that were made for Return of the Jedi.
Superb. So
what's interesting now is that you can take, you know, a brand new sensor on a camera and add these lenses that have been sitting on the shelf, nobody was interested in them for years, and create something new.
Excellent. And so going out and creating that's something new, you were saying to me that the tools that you choose for the job is you start with a script.
Absolutely.
That's the starting point.
It's the Bible. It's the Holy Grail. I mean, I kind of think of it, you know, a bit like archaeology. You know, I sit down with that script and I take my little tool and I chip away at that script until I familiarize myself so much with the characters, with the narrative, and then build up a picture of how I'm going to translate that. It's very much a kind of translation from word to image, and everybody has their own crazy processes.
And during that crazy process, is there something that just jumps out and you goes, this camera is going to be put, what's the trigger?
Very much, Ben. Sometimes that happens. I mean, you know, obviously I'm the director's partner, if you like.
Yep.
So I'm not working alone. I'll team up with this director, and I want to carry his vision, but I want to also bring some of my own and surprise him, hopefully, along the way. So we'll delve into reference, we'll look at paintings, we'll look at photography, we'll look at other movies, but all the time thinking, what is right for this script? And at a certain point, something speaks to you. Something goes ting in your memory, that camera I used for that job, or that lens I saw, it'll be perfect for this part of the story. So you're kind of drawing on all your experience all the time. And what's great about being a cinematographer is that, unlike a musician where you have to practice every single day or you lose it, cinematography is about absorbing experience, life experience. I'm looking at you now, and I'm looking at this lighting on your face, and I'm thinking,
don't,
poor guy,
not this morning.
So I'm absorbing all the time around me, and then hopefully I'm bringing that to the script to serve the story.
So looking at the script, you're going to get something from there. Marrying that, weighing that up with a budget, I suppose, is the other thing as well. How does that? Is that the angst?
That's a good question.
The compromise for you?
Well, that's the other thing that I'm always aware of: cinematography and commerce, art and commerce. This is where movie making, TV making meets, and what one has to do is to find a positive result to those issues, to those challenges, and find a creative solution to any of those budgetary challenges that might come along the way. Because ambition will undoubtedly take you way beyond what the means of your budget are, whether it's a micro or a huge budget. You're always wanting to do more. So it's about those creative solutions. And that's where I really get off, because you have to think laterally, you have to think on your feet. Things are constantly going to change. So spontaneity and instinct and team playing are all parts of being a cinematographer. It's not just the technical knowledge.
And do you find, at a show like this, Larry Jordan was on the sofa yesterday, and he loves, and the part of the education, the training of being at these shows, and the continued education for people, because you can walk up to the manufacturer and say, I've got this issue with this, or are you going to do this? Is that, you end up helping towards the development of those cameras? Is that the kind of thing you were doing here as well?
I certainly love giving feedback. Sometimes it's welcome, sometimes it isn't. But yeah, it is a nice opportunity to actually see face-to-face with the manufacturers, and for them perhaps to see the end user and get a dialogue going. And there are many examples of companies who are continually fantastic at inviting one along to take part in their process of developing the technology. Because in the end, we all want to deliver the best product. The best experience for the audience.
So we're talking, going back to today's seminar, the suspense and creating suspense within cinematography.
Yeah.
Just give us a little taste. Obviously, not the whole 30 minutes.
Yes.
But what can people expect?
Well, what I'm keen to impart is my own experience of it. It's not going to be a history lesson on Hitchcock, but rather, what are the steps, the practical steps that I take in creating suspense or creating the mood for a long-form piece. So I've got some, of my own anecdotes of how I go through those steps to create the mood.
Excellent. And then what can we see of yours at the moment? What's
Bletchley Circle on ITV just came out, and the next thing that you're going to be able to watch, if you can access the Sci-Fi Channel, will be Dominion, which is a massive new show from the States, which I piloted just recently down in Cape Town.
Excellent. With the lens?
With these beautiful old Crystal Express lenses from the 1970s.
And is this a big part of the job as well, that you fall in love with? We know cinematography is in your blood, but the travel as well, getting to move around and different people.
It's a fantastic privilege to shoot in any country you're invited to. You get to know the people, the place, the landscape. You're continually learning about life, and it's a gift, I can only say.
While I've got you here, just a lot of the students will be around at the show today, people who are getting into this industry for the first time, trying to break through. Those that are out there thinking, cinematography, that's what I want to do. What if you've got a little gem, a little piece of advice for them?
Shoot stills. Shoot stills, shoot stills. Look at art, look at the world, travel, experience life, because you're going to need to draw on all facets of your life experience. The technical is one side, the artistic is the other, but there's the emotion as well, because continually you're going to have to convey emotion visually. So it's a life's journey, but I think if you're starting out, it's an exciting time, because you can pick up a camera and get wonderful results now for very little money. It's available, the tools are available, but it's the ideas that are important. You mustn't lose sight of storytelling and what are the great ideas behind that.
I think that's a great piece of advice, because so often people can get caught up within the technology and wanting to use the best and the greatest thing, where it could be something that's
very
old,
simple,
like the crystal lenses.
Absolutely.
Adam, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.